Good afternoon. It is just turning afternoon here where I am. Hello, all you folks. Aren't you kind to be here? Good morning. Good morning. My name is Casey Durango of Go Keto with Casey, where I like to talk about how I've lost 97.4 pounds since starting the ketogenic diet and how you might be able to lose weight, improve your health, and regain control of your life. I've just talked about this very topic on our Facebook Live, so if you were there and you don't want to hear it again, you might want to move on and do something else with your morning or afternoon, depending where you are, or evening, depending on where you are. But the topic today is sneaky carbs, or innocent-looking foods that, who knew they could be so rough. I do want to acknowledge, hello, and hey, wake me up, Jojo. Good morning. Love the title. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Sure did. Thank you. Also want to thank you guys. On YouTube, it's much more common to have inappropriate comments made anonymously. So if y'all give me a heads up or report them or something, thank you. Okay, so here's the thing. Over the last, there was a 10-day period. Thank you, Grandmother Clock. Grandmother's a minute and a half behind. Have to change her. I did a lot of air travel. I traveled several times to Texas, and I want to give a tip of the hat to the organizers and committee for the TSCPA, who really, really, truly do know how to treat a guest speaker. And it was a lot of fun, but I was on a lot of airplanes, many. And if you guys fly at all, you know what happens is they come around with free snacks, free snacks, free snacks. And I was saying, no, thank you, no, thank you. But this one time I was talking to one flight attendant. I was on a really large plane, flight attendant over here, and over here to my right, another flight attendant just came and just plopped down some food on my tray. Pretzels. I thought I'll just give them to the guy next to me. But I thought, wait a minute, I'm curious. So I got out my glasses and I got out this tiny little wee package. One half of an ounce. It is nothing. It is a puny package of pretzels. And I want you to see. It's 1/2 of an ounce of pretzels. 14 grams. Oh, it's in reverse, isn't it? 11 grams of carbohydrate. 11 grams of carbohydrate. Now, for those of you who don't know, the protocol, which I follow as I learned it, 20 grams of carbs a day or fewer. So that would not cut it for me. One thing, it wouldn't be satisfying at all. It would not be nutritious at all. It might even trigger, ooh, now I want some more pretzels, because that kind of thing can happen. In comparison, plus pretzels aren't on the food list. Not for nothing. I mean, if you are interested in the food list I followed, I didn't make it up. It's the food list I followed. You're welcome to go to my blog, caseydurango.com. It's under resources. And it's just the food list. It's essentially fatty sources of protein, some non-starchy vegetables, and some dairy. That's it. 11 grams of carb for 14 grams, half an ounce. This avocado, by contrast, which is on the food list, half an avocado is on the list. And it's nutritious, and it's filling, and it's potassium packed. There's gram for gram, there's more potassium in avocado than there is in banana. This weighs 89 grams, including the skin, has about 6 or 7 grams of carbohydrate. 6 or 7 for nutritious food, 11 for junk. You decide. No, do as you wish. Eat as you wish. But I wanted to make this point. And as I made the point on the live, Facebook Live, imagine you're not on a plane and they've handed you half an ounce of pretzels, but you're at a cocktail party, or at an office party, or at a friend's house, or you're standing in your own pantry, and there's a big bag of pretzels or or Chex Mix. Think about it, because you're not going to eat 14 grams of pretzels. If you're standing at a cocktail party and you start eating, so do as you like. But the people with whom I speak, who are the most successful, just don't play. They just don't play. And I didn't play. I cut out the carbs. So there we are. And I do want to turn my attention to recognize some folks. So hi, Casey from Richmond. Hey, Jackie Eberstein lives in Richmond, Virginia. The wonderful Jackie Eberstein. Morning from Texas, Santa Monica, New Jersey. Yeah, it's great. I do want a couple of housekeeping things. You do not need to purchase one thing, one item to be 100% successful on the ketogenic diet. All you're going to do is reduce your carbohydrate intake to 20 grams or fewer a day. Eat fatty sources of protein. Don't eat if you're not hungry. Stop when you're satiated. Boom. That's it. But here's some things you can buy. 2019 Go Keto with Casey calendar's in, and people liked it last year, so we redid it. It's now available on my blog under the swag thing, along with other things. My mug, lime green mug. They're just for fun, these products. And please be patient with me. I'm a one-person shop, so all product fulfillment is done by me. So it takes a while. Anywho, there's a journal there and everything else. If you're a patron, please look at the messages I sent out this morning. You may be entitled to a discount as a patron. I want to say thank you to my patrons from patreon.com. They make it possible. They made it possible for me to give up my day job to concentrate on doing this. So those of you who don't know, Patreon is a closed group, patreon.com/Go Keto with Casey, where pledges from $2 up, you get different amounts and different levels of patron-only content. Probably the most valuable part of that, I would say, is the patron-only forum to which everyone is entitled. And I make about 20 videos a month for patrons only. And then there are about a half dozen live streams that I do for patrons only, about a half dozen video group chats that I do for patrons only, and one-on-ones monthly, depending on your pledge level. So thank you very much. Appreciate that. And one last thing, if you're interested in going on a cruise in late March, whether you are doing the ketogenic diet or not, but maybe you just want to get a group discount, or group perks, I should say. And if you're looking for a cabin mate, we're going to the Western Caribbean. It's a small group, but it's not a large group, but we are going to have keto food for our group. We'll be seated together at the evening meals, and we're going to have like a martini tasting and champagne for everybody. So go to my blog, look at the cruise, contact Lisa at Coastline Travel, and she'll hook you up. Okay, thank you. Enough of all that. I am going to look down here. Started watching you a few months back. Hello from Oregon. Thank you. Hey, my daughter lives in Portland. We just had a Go Keto with Casey roadshow in Portland. What a cool city. Thanks, Jeff's mommy. You're very, hey, Stacey Randall. She's my favorite. She's a patron and she's wonderful. And Stacey, may I share what your husband does for a living and his take on all of this? I will not without your permission. Denver. Hi. Hey, Kate. Does anyone have, okay, your thoughts on water intake? I drink when I'm thirsty. This whole thing about drink half your weight in ounces in water, there's no drink when thirsty. Robert Sives, a South African medical doctor, who I think now practices in Florida. I heard him talk in California. And, he was saying, this whole thing that you must pound back water to fight. He says, so how do people who entire civilizations have spent days on the desert? They thrived still. So just drink when you're thirsty. That's my take on it. I am not a medical provider. I am not a researcher. I am a very intelligent, highly motivated, well-educated, former fatty. I do the reading so you don't have to. Hey, Jody. I'm looking to see, started watching. Hi from Corpus Christi. Yes, okay. So I have Stacey's permission to share that her husband is a medical doctor. And in his practice, he's encouraging people to try a ketogenic diet. Bravo to him, because many of you might know that there are plenty of medical providers who, for one thing, are scared to death of it, don't understand it, think it'll kill you, think you can't stick with it, would rather write you a script than tell you to lay off the carbs. So bravo to Stacey's very attractive husband, by the way. I've seen his photograph. And Stacey's a doll herself. And Stacey has started her own keto support group. It's called Keto Up. And I love the double meaning, but it's keto, capital U, capital P, for Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So she has her own support group. Y'all, start a support group if you want one. You know, there are online support groups. There are online Facebook groups. Also, I have stopped accepting membership requests for the Keto After 40 with KC Facebook group. It's got over 40,000 members. It was getting towards 45,000 or something like that. Too much, too many shenanigans. And frankly, I'm the only admin, and I had to take my life back. And plus, there are other outlets for people. But if you don't have one, start one. And how do you do that? If someone asks you about it, invite them to coffee. So let's go talk about it. I'll tell you my experience. Let's meet, throw out some, and say, bring a friend. I have a little meetup here in Greensboro at a wine store. It's great. We drink wine and talk about keto. Some people drink coffee and talk about keto. Okay. Would you say wow, you saw my water question and answer. Thank you so very much. Absolutely. Love to answer. What do you add to your coffee? Non-sugar sweetener and 2 teaspoons of heavy cream. Christopia Douglas. Hi, y'all. Finally made it live. Yay. Keto Sisters. We just started one in Indianapolis. The word is spreading. That is great. That is great, Keto Sisters. So glad you did that. Because, it's easy to feel like you're the only one trying to do this. And the struggles and some of the tips and tricks and all that stuff. Sorry for my huge glasses and the reflection. The distance is, if I'm going to read the questions, I have to have them. How do you keep keto if you're sick with the flu and a stomach virus? Well, I'm not sure what you would do differently. I mean, if you've got the flu and the stomach virus, you probably don't want to eat anything anyway. So broth. Take in some, and if you don't have homemade broth or fancy broth, bouillon cubes. Rebecca Robertson, this time last year I was a size 2X. I started this in May, and today I purchased a size medium. This is so fantastic. It is beyond fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. Hey, Elena. Wanda, heavy whipping cream is very calorie dense, very easy to overdo it. Did someone ask, why do you measure? Yes. Heavy cream is not unlimited, nor is cheese, nor is sour cream, nor is mayonnaise. Dairy products are allowed, full fat, but they're not unlimited. By and large, if it's kind of a liquidy or soft dairy product, mayonnaise, sour cream, limit that to about 2 tablespoons a day. If it's cheese, limit it to about 2 ounces a day. As a rule, we all have to figure out what works for us. Bone broth, yeah, just drink some. Get a Knorr bouillon cube if you don't have broth. That would be good whether you're doing keto or not. Finally made it live. Love how honest you are in your videos. I don't have a good enough memory to be anything other than honest. Maria Schlossberg. Feels so much better on low-carb keto, sometimes a bit lazy, but always try every day to limit carbs as much as possible. I want to bring home the fact, again, I was just appalled. Half an ounce, 11 grams of carbohydrate. That is nearly a gram of carb for every gram of pretzel. And that's just pretzels. Kathy Kelly writes, I've lost 88 pounds since May, lost 15 pounds. The last 15 are hard to lose. The last 5, 10, 15 pounds. And, then you start to ask yourself, where did I come up with that number that I need to lose 5 or 10 or 15 pounds? I would like to lose 2.6 more pounds, mostly for vanity and because I like symmetry. So I could say I lost 100 pounds on keto. I'm actually about 115 pounds off my heaviest. But, maybe just adjust, declare victory and withdraw. How do you feel about the Parm crisps being sold in stores now, like Kroger and Publix? If they have no carbs, great. No problem with them. How do you know what is your target weight? Exactly. Are we going to let some app tell us what we should eat or how much we should weigh? Some chart in a doctor's office? Some insurance actuarial table? How about if we feel really good and we can fit into size cute clothes and, nothing hurts anymore and we're off of medications and we can get into an airline seat? I've been on so many planes in the last 3 weeks. I don't even know how many planes. And I will tell you, I felt and could identify with those people who got on those planes and were having trouble getting down the aisles because of their size. And then struggling and needing to get a seatbelt extension. And the nicer flight attendants keep that on the DL. Yeah, I get you an extender. Do you need a seat extender? Instead of the, hey, can you get me a seat extender? Ugh. Anyway, because I was there, I didn't travel much. One of the reasons I didn't want to get on a plane again. Because when you're bigger, and you get on the plane and everyone looks up and you're coming down the aisle, people are going, oh, please don't sit next to me. Please don't sit next to me. Please don't sit next to me. And you try to make yourself as small as possible. But it is awfully fun traveling when you're puny. From Russia with love, Iriana, thank you so much. I love that you step in. Okay, and Lena writes, isn't it great, Christopia? I was ecstatic the first time I didn't need an extender. Helena shared with us on the Discourse Forum, which is the patron-only group. She took a photograph. She'd gone on an airplane, and she took a photograph from this perspective of the excess she had when she tightened her seatbelt. And I believe, Helena, didn't you write that the time previous to that, you either could barely get the seatbelt clasped or you needed an extender? Good morning, good morning, good morning. No more seatbelt extenders, yes. Do you have a food you like that's considered a free food? There's no free food, okay? There's no free food, particularly not vegetables. Let's face it, just because you don't know, Buenos dias, the Dominican Republic. Just because you don't have to count calories or grams of fat or grams of protein doesn't mean that the intake of fuel, I used that word I didn't want to use. I'm trying to get away from using the calorie word because it's very charged. But the amount of fuel you take in compared to the amount of fuel your body needs for whatever purposes does matter ultimately. The thing with the ketogenic, a well-formulated ketogenic protocol, if you listen to your body, it's self-regulating. If you only eat when you're actually hungry, not because your brain's telling you to, when you start burning fat for fuel as opposed to burning glucose for fuel, your brain gets the message that you've had enough. It stops calling for glucose, there's the whole reason that your body calls for glucose. If you want to know why this happens, the one book I would recommend, and I still reference it, The Art and Science of Low Carbohydrate Living by Drs. Stephen Phinney and Jeff Volek. It explains why, physiologically. The how is, keep your carbs 20 grams or fewer a day, total, not net. Eat fatty sources of protein. Don't eat if you're not hungry and stop when you're satiated. But if you listen to your body and you stop eating when you're satisfied, nothing's going to be unlimited. And nutrient-dense, luscious, fatty foods, it's hard to choke down too many. Like I've said many times, I defy you to eat more than 3 boiled eggs and a glass of water and be able to eat anything else for a few hours, unless you're Cool Hand Luke. Okay, I love that y'all are answering each other's questions. We must be talking about sauces. Unkindness of ravens. Oh, I found out a few weeks ago that my, quote, small salad was actually over 10 carbs. Made it smaller that day. Phew. Oh, homemade jerky? Yeah, jerky is expensive. And what we've made is super simple. I will probably share, I'm very slack. I will probably share my recipe for the jerky marinade, but it is very easy. And you don't have to have special equipment. We happen to have an Excalibur dehydrator. And we use top round, I think. My husband could tell me what type of meat it is. You slice it and you marinate it. You get soy sauce is okay if you get the naturally brewed soy sauce. It doesn't have sugar in it. Kikkoman is the brand we use. And then some, cayenne pepper, and I think we put chili flakes or something else in it. And then you make your own. And it's a lot cheaper. Karen Brandt writes, hello from the Cheesehead State, Wisconsin. Cheese is my weakness, especially fresh cheese curds. Yeah, and Martha, yeah, you do have to watch the heavy whipping cream. 2 tablespoons a day. So 2 tablespoons is approximately 6 teaspoons by measure, actual measuring of the teaspoon. So if I have 3 cups of coffee a day and I put 2 teaspoons in each, I'm at my 2 tablespoon limit. Merry Christmas, writes Christine Proctor. Okay, did I thank the patrons? Yes, I did. Did I talk about the calendars? Yes, I did. Okay, I think that's it. Does anyone have any other questions for me? Or share some successes or challenges? Okay, I've been sick with a stomach virus and haven't lost a pound. Your body can be stressed out from the virus, and cortisol can do, if we can step away from the pounds, let's step away from the scale if we can. If it upsets you more to know how much you weigh or how much you haven't lost, step away. You're not going to lose weight all the time, even a stomach virus, because if you're losing a lot of material, your body might start retaining water because otherwise you are dehydrated. So you can actually be retaining water. Hang in there, girl. Michelle Tamayo. There's this guy on YouTube that says the keto is not good for people over 40. There are people on YouTube that say any damn thing. I'm 60. I started when I was 55. At our roadshow event in Portland, Walter came with his beautiful mother, Marie. Marie made her dietary change 3 years ago. You might think, well, big deal. Marie's 93. So she made her change at age 90. So question the motives of that person or his intelligence. Six months ketoversary. Yay, Marie. I'm also 58 and down 30. Got my brother friend to join me. Much better with support. That's great. And Grunkle writes, anything wrong from keep lower calories if I can, like I switched heavy whipping cream to half and half, your opinion? Just, in a pinch, half and half is okay, but it has more sugar. It just has more carbs. When they take out the cream, which is fat, sugar goes up, which is one reason skim milk is an atrocity. It's essentially sugar. There are 3 macronutrients, one of which is not essential, carbohydrate. But assuming protein remains pretty static, since there are only 3, if you take out one, the other one goes up. If you take out fat, carbs go up. Take out carbs, the rest is made up of fat. You don't have to add fat. This is not pounding back the fat. You don't have to cram in X number of grams of fat. It's not the presence of the fat that works. It's the absence of the carbs. It's not the presence of the fat. It's the absence of the carbs that will get you to burning fat for fuel. Now, fatty sources of protein are very satiating. That said, you don't have to add fat, and I wouldn't recommend it. Wake me up, Jojo. Hi, Casey. I've followed the eat when hungry and drink when thirsty, watching carbs, eating this way. Is it only for maintaining the same weight? I'm not losing. Okay. Helena, jump in here if you're still on, girl. Helena just shared with us in Patreon. She was on an 8.5-month hover. We don't call it a stall. 8.5 months. In the last few days, she's hit 2 new lows. Helena, what did you do differently? Nothing. Stuck with the program. She's maybe eating fewer vegetables just because she's not feeling like eating them. But nothing drastic changed. Stick with it. No. If you have more to lose, you may not have more to lose. If you really feel like something's not right, take a step back. Make sure that you are eating only when actually hungry. Keep in mind, the first little twinge of a hunger, we call that peckishness. And so we push the peckishness. Because if you're a little bit peckish, I'm peckish right now. I've been the same level of peckish for about 3 hours. I'm not particularly hungry. I'm peckish. I'll push the peckishness until, time to eat. You are welcome. Thank you all back. Oh, and Helena, thank you for the reminder. But during that 8.5-month hover, she went down a full size in clothing. Losing volume without losing weight on the scale is a thing. Keep the faith. Keep the faith. And also think about how much better you feel. If you've come off of medications or you don't groan every time you stand up now, from a sitting position, if you can move your fingers, think about the other things. Okay, tip wasn't losing weight, but I thought I was following the protocol. I started writing down everything I eat and weight loss has taken off. Yeah, be accountable. That's when an app or a journal, by the way. Another plug. I actually love these little things. Go Keto with Casey journal. And this is a pen. And I use them myself, and they're lined blank. Writing it down, being accountable, because if you don't know, if you are kind of mindlessly eating or eating when you're not hungry, so, oh, there we go. I see. It was that 3 cups of mashed cauliflower that I probably should not have eaten. I love the word peckish. Peckish, peckish, peckish. Peck, 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 peck. That's from Willow. Peck. Diana Padilla. Hi, Casey. I'm a new patron. Thank you. And I've been loving the snippets. Still too shy to post on the forum, but thanks for all your encouragement. Hey, Sheila. Don't be shy. Well, be shy. That's okay. That's okay. It's a very safe place, but lurking and reading and getting support is fine no matter how it goes. Hey, Barb. How are you? Good to see you. Hey, Vicki. Love that journal. Thank you, Vicki G from Southeast Washington. Vicki is the person I think about when someone says, but I don't think I can do this because I've got thyroid issues, or I have had a hysterectomy, or I'm premenopausal, postmenopausal, perimenopausal. I don't have a gallbladder. Vicki, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're just about one of each of those things, right? You've had it all, right? Yeah. We want to believe that we have special challenges, and some of us do, but for the most part, these challenges are no match for a well-formulated ketogenic diet. Sometimes we want to believe that it doesn't matter if we give out carbs, which maybe we're doubtful that we can or want to. And it doesn't matter because it wouldn't work for me anyway because I'm I have Hashimoto's disease. Helena writes, just keep doing the same thing, Monica. Weight loss will slow down, but it will continue. And size loss. My body continues to change, what do you call it? Not format, composition. You know, I don't really exercise very much. I occasionally go to the gym. I do planks. But my body composition continues to change. And I have not, I've been weight stable for a really long time. Henrietta Henson, what are your views on cream and coffee through the morning and then food afternoon? Keep your heavy cream to 2 tablespoons a day. Don't eat if you're not hungry. Do you still take meds for Hashi? Somebody has asked. Christopia, Karen, okay, y'all are answering each other's questions, so I will not step in. Kathy Kelly, when you get to maintenance, how do you maintain it? I'm at maintenance. My husband's at maintenance. We keep doing the same thing. It is self-regulating. We keep our carbs low. We eat delicious foods. We don't eat if we're not hungry, and we stop when we're satiated. Last night, I told my husband, I'm going to do what Helena says. I'm taking a mid-meal break. We're actually testing grass-fed steaks that had been sent and some broccoli, and I was satiated, and I put down my knife and fork, and I thought about it for a minute, and then I pushed the plate away. It is self-regulating. Listen to your body. You know, do we think that 100 years ago, our forebears were perseverating, micromanaging their food intake? No. Sheila D., what does Dr. Finney mean by well-formulated ketogenic diet? Not adding extra fats. It just means for your body, finding that carbohydrate intake level whereby your liver is no longer pushing out glucose and you're eating fatty sources of protein to satiety. That's a well-formulated ketogenic diet. Ketogenic meaning you're burning fat for fuel. You're burning ketones for fuel. You're mobilizing fat for fuel. You don't have to test. If you really want to test, the gold standard is still blood. And it's not testing ketones, by the way. It's testing beta-hydroxybutyrate, which is a byproduct of mobilizing fat for fuel. The urine strips are affordable. They're not measuring ketones either. They're measuring acetoacetate, which is another byproduct of mobilizing fat for fuel. If you are interested in blood, I used for years, I used the Precision Extra from Abbott Laboratories, but the ketone testing strips, very expensive. There's a new product came out about a year ago, Keto Mojo. It tests glucose and for ketosis. The device costs about the same as the Precision Extra, but the strips, much more affordable. If you don't have a kit and you want a 15% discount, again, affiliate link, but I wouldn't endorse it if I didn't believe in it and I use it. Keto Mojo, go to my blog, it's in the sidebar. But you don't have to measure. If your appetite is suppressed, if you lose your hunger, if you find you have more energy, you're probably burning fat for fuel. Vicki, Hashimoto's thyroid, no gallbladder, postmenopausal, multiple sclerosis, and I'm almost 64. Poster child for if I can do it, anyone can do it. Thank you, darling. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, did y'all hear that? So even if you're not thinking, if you have someone tell you, well, I can't do it. She has Hashimoto's thyroid, no gallbladder, postmenopausal. Did you have a hysterectomy too, honey? And she has MS. I had a hysterectomy as a young woman. And I assume I was postmenopausal. When I started at 55, I didn't have a uterus, so it was harder to tell. Shell F, don't go chasing ketones. Just follow what Casey says. Spend your money on ribeyes. Absolutely. Yep, Helena, I've never had Hashimoto's, honey. That was Vicki. Vicki has Hashimoto's. Svietka, did I just see you somewhere else? Commenting? I can't believe I caught you live. Hi from Israel, about 8-hour difference. Thank you for joining. Henrietta Henson, it's great to understand that full feeling, because I used to eat when I was full with no stop button when I ate carbs. And you know what? It's a Christmas miracle. That's the way we're wired. That's why we can eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and cry while we're eating, because we don't want to be eating, and yet we're thinking about what we can eat next. When you're burning glucose for fuel, we are wired. Our brains, if they're burning glucose for fuel, need a steady stream of it. Glucose can't be stored in the blood. It's a fast burning fuel. So if you're burning glucose for fuel, your brain, which is an energy hog, after about 2 hours says, get me some more fuel, man. That's why you've eaten your heart healthy breakfast at 8:30, and then at 10:45, you're looking for something to eat. I mean, the heart healthy breakfast is so-called, is still in your belly. Vicki, you're too funny, honey. No hysterectomy. She writes, about the only organ I have left I no longer need. Hi, I'm from Vermont. You've been my low-carb, high-fat keto inspiration since January 2017 when I started. Down 50 pounds and feeling better in every way. Now hovering, that is great that you use that word, around 170, but still shrinking. Never going back. Okay, douchebag. Sorry, potty mouth. I apologize. El Medis Manhub, salud. Hi, do you still do the box close service you used to do? Lovely videos of it. If you do more unwraps, please. Okay, I still do Stitch Fix. Honestly, the only time I've done an unboxing recently was for patrons. I really do like Stitch Fix, and I don't need as many clothes because I've been kind of the same size for a while, but they do a good job. My stylist Tracy does an excellent job. Sharon Rich writes, would love some keto friendships from northeastern Wisconsin, 40 miles north of Green Bay. Way to reach out. I will, Christopia, your message was held for review, but I allowed it because I agree. Would love to, Mrs. Bald Eagle Jr., did you go through sugar withdrawals, and what did you do? No, I didn't. I might have just been so far down. I was so miserable physically and mentally and emotionally. And I felt so good almost immediately because I was eating wonderful food. So no. But there are those that say if you're having a little bit of a sweet tooth, pickle juice. I guess you could just eat a pickle. Vicki writes, low carb is being hyped as keto, but if more than 20 total grams a day, not too much. Stay on Casey's protocol. Different people have different tolerances for a carbohydrate. For me, I stay well below 20. Some days, essentially, probably sub 5. Felicia Pettiford, thank you, ladies. This is such helpful information. And there are gentlemen amongst us as well. Yeah, body does what it does. Stick with it. Okay. Pickle juice helps with my acid. I sip a couple ounces before bed. Yeah, it's funny. The acid in the pickle juice, same thing can be said for like any fermented food, sauerkraut, yogurt, y'all know the others, can supposedly help. I mean, I don't go all about the resetting your gut biome. Our bodies really do know what to do. Bouillon cubes help with cravings. Dr. Stephen Finney travels with a little baggie of bouillon cubes, not for cravings, but to make sure his sodium remains up. Okay, Kimberly Marshburn. So glad I caught you today. I needed this. I fell off in September after a bad fall during Florence hurricane. and need to get back on this. Used comfort foods and went downhill. Thank you for sharing that. We went through Florence, but not really. I mean, it really went. We were supposed to get 20 inches of rain. Went south of us. We were very fortunate. Sorry for that. But I will point out, you make a good point. A lot of this will say, and I've said it before, I use food for comfort. Well, you know what? It never did comfort me. It tortured me. It's torture. It's not comfort. If you're eating the food that does not serve you well. Also, many will say, I use food to cope. No, by definition, you're using food to not cope. Food will not fix anything. Food did not deflect the hurricane. Food did not stop the flooding. Food will not make your boss a nicer person. Food won't mend a broken heart. Food will not bring a deceased loved one back. Harsh to realize, but it won't. Food is fuel. Food is not love. Love is love. Food is fuel. Food should not be our entertainment or our sport. If we have issues with food, some people, it is sport and entertainment, and they are okay with that. They feel good, they're healthy, whatever. But if you struggle with food, get it out of the center of your life. Svieta, I just got magnesium and potassium supplements. Don't want to overdose, so I'm thinking of taking them every other day. Potassium, it's hard to overdose on potassium because they regulate it. No matter how big the pills are or what they say on the front of the label, you're pretty much going to max out at 99 milligrams of potassium because too much potassium is dangerous. And frankly, my understanding from Dr. Finney is that potassium deficiency is pretty rare. Magnesium deficiency, less rare. When I take magnesium, and I don't take it all the time because I don't always have symptoms, I take a slow release magnesium called Mag 64. I get it 5 packages at a time from Amazon. Again, you can see it on my blog, tacky affiliate link. Food masks fear and feelings. But it doesn't really mask it, does it? It just sidesteps it. You still have to deal with it. It kicks the fear and everything down the road. Solves nothing. Diana Padilla, I've been doing keto since November 11th, and this is the first time I've had a healthy relationship with food. I've lost 15 pounds, and I can't tell you how thankful I am for you. Congratulations. Congratulations. That's just fantastic. Christopher writes, I have iron deficiency anemia, so I have to take prescription iron and potassium, magnesium supplements, and keep things moving, if you know what I mean. Okay, guys, I am going to start to wrap up. This went on longer than I intended. I do appreciate you allowing me in. Please, I'm going to leave you with this image because, parties all over. 11 grams of carbohydrate for this puny little nothing half-ounce bag of pretzels. Compared to actual food, about 6 or 7 grams of carbohydrate, but it's delicious and it has nutrition and it's satisfying and it's pretty. So let me leave you with that. Okay, I'm just looking to make sure there's nothing else I need to respond to. Stay warm. Yeah, it's now raining here, but there's still snow on the ground. We had quite the snowstorm, about 14.5 inches. Made it a challenge to get down to Houston for that third talk, but I did, and it was great. Still want to make it to a wine discussion. I'm in Hillsborough, so maybe when you restart. Yes, thank you for bringing that up, Christopia. Yes, as a matter of fact, I would like to go this weekend to the wine place to confirm the 2019 calendar. For those of you who are in the area, Go Keto with Casey meetup, second Monday of the month at Wine Styles at Friendly Center. It's free. I don't take email addresses, nothing to sell. I'm not trying to do anything other than talk to people. Okay, thanks, guys. Be sweet. Keep it in a road. Keep your carbs 20 grams or fewer a day. Eat fatty sources of protein. Don't eat if you're not hungry. Stop when you're satisfied. Be kind to yourself. Be firm with yourself. Be honest with yourself. That's actually the January thing on the calendar. That be kind, firm, and honest with yourself. I struggle with those things as well. Bye, y'all. I really appreciate it. Be sweet. Just don't eat sweets.